we are kickstarting the road to WrestleMania. And we're kicking it off with Becky Lynch versus Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship at the Royal Rumble of 2019. Okay, so heading into this storyline is basically Becky won a triple threat number one contendership match. Oh, I'm sorry, championship opportunity, because that is offensive now, according to Vince's philosophy. And they basically have this whole confrontation trying to prove who's the alpha woman, who's the man versus the empress and whatnot. And I was excited for it because this is a match I've been wanting to see. And now you got Becky Lynch, who's on fire with this momentum. And then you got Asuka, who's finally regaining relevancies once again since TLC and since a little bit before that. And like I said, let's be kind of honest here. If Becky wasn't as on fire as she was, Asuka probably would not be gaining this momentum again. Because had Becky not looked at Asuka in the eye, or had she not been turned into a heel and then ultimately had to be pushed into a face role, then Asuka probably would not have gotten that big pop that she rightfully earned after basically having a year of bullshit booking. But, yeah. This match was something I was looking forward to. I believed it was going to steal the show, honestly. Like, this was going to be probably a near 20-minute matchup between the Empress of Tomorrow and the Man. And I was completely correct on that part, because I was hyped up for this match. Everyone was hyped up for this match. And I was ecstatic to see these two go at it. Becky Lynch is on fire. Asuka's getting on fire again. And she's the SmackDown Women's Champion. And when I heard it was the opening match, I was like, oh, so it's going to be the Royal Rumble match. She's going to get added to the Royal Rumble, Becky Lynch. They're going to do something in order to sell this. Which they hinted at the pre-show, which I'll talk about the one match that was actually good on the pre-show. The Cruiserweight Fatal 4-Way. But yeah, this match was as what everyone expected it would be. It was phenomenal. Becky and Asuka stare each other down as Greg Hamilton does the formal ring introductions. And the whole, they schedule for one fall! Except they don't want to give that pause, because if they do, the Vince will hate it because he doesn't like fan interaction as much as he says he does. And ultimately, this match would tear the roof off the place. No one knew who they wanted to cheer for. They wanted Becky Lynch because they love her, but they also loved Asuka, and they didn't know who to cheer for. They were chanting, "Let's go Becky, let's go Asuka, let's go Becky, let's go Asuka." And yeah. And this would lead to some pretty memorable moments. Also, when they started doing reverse sequences, that was pretty awesome. Especially when Becky tried to put Asuka in the Asuka lock, or Asuka putting Becky in the disarm her. It would have been hilarious if they did that ending, if the winner defeated the opponent using their finisher maneuver. And I'm thinking, like, is this what I'm going to expect when we eventually get Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey? Because that seems to be hinting where they're going with this. Like, imagine it. Becky Lynch and Asuka both have armbar maneuvers as their submission, and they probably will try and use it on one another. So, basically, let's just hope one doesn't tear the other arms off, even though that would be kind of metal and hardcore. But, yeah. This, it even showed some brutal spots, like crashing onto the canvas floor from a suplex from Asuka. It was just great to see this match. And I really am glad that this match was finally happening. I thought this match would never happen because of how Asuka was booked as basically the village idiot, because, oh, she's an evil foreigner according to Vince. Foreigners are evil, whatever. So, yeah, and Becky starts working on the arm to prepare for her disarm her, and, yeah, Asuka does the Asuka lock on the ropes, the referee almost counts to 5, and the hold is broken, and, yeah, and they start trading shots on the apron, leading to that suplex maneuver. Uh, and Becky actually did try to do a Bexploder on the apron, but Asuka hanged on. Yeah, it was a fisherman suplex from the apron to the floor, and yeah. It did look they land awkwardly, and it did look like the referee was checking, like, are you both still conscious? And sure enough, they were still conscious throughout, so we're good on that. And then we got some stiff head kicks, roundhouse kicks. We got some huge moments, and fans were chanting, "This is awesome! This is awesome! This is awesome!" And yeah, eventually, Becky tries to go. Becky does a Bexploder off the top rope, which was awesome, and Asuka kicks out. And then Asuka breaks and rolls Becky for a 2 count before landing a Asuka lock. After Becky tries to do for a kick, rolling Asuka for a 2 count. And they're in the middle of the ring. Becky looks like she's going to escape, and Asuka bridges it into a neck submission. I think they called it a cattle mutilation maneuver. I could have pronounced that wrong and butchered it, but that's what I kept hearing. And she bridged it into a neck submission, and Becky taps out for the finish. Now, about that finish, a lot of people had very mixed opinions on the whole idea of Becky, the man, tapping out, how they could have had her pass out or something. But at the same time, I do think they executed as best as they could with this, because this was a move that Asuka never did during her WWE run. It really kind of gave Becky this idea that Asuka would have to pull something from the reserves that she's never used throughout her undefeated streak to defeat Becky Lynch. That kind of, to me, was more like a, holy shit, Becky was such a threat that Asuka had to dig deep and use a move that we never see her use before in her WWE run and NXT run. That should have said something about the confidence of Becky Lynch they had with her. I was also debating doing some crazy video of Asuka versus Becky Lynch, but I was already content with Asuka winning. But yeah, Becky Lynch taps out, and like I said, I know this caused mixed opinions with people. Like, some were glad she tapped out, some were hating on the fact that she tapped out and kind of doesn't help her case. But I was like, okay, like, if they did it in the straight up Asuka lock, I probably would have been mad about that a little bit. But the fact that Asuka had to use something else to defeat Becky Lynch, a move that I have not seen her use during her NXT run or WWE run before TLC, yeah, that I felt like that said something about what they see in Asuka and what Becky Lynch is so tough that Asuka had to pull in the desperation maneuver. So, yeah, this match was freaking awesome, but it wasn't the end of Becky Lynch's night. I'll talk about that match soon. It won't be for a while, because at the time of this video, tomorrow Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, and I am looking forward to that. But yeah, Becky Lynch, there were a lot of fan sites as well, a lot of the man paper cards, like, a lot of people were like, okay, it's cool, but it's not like Gargano's thing where they have the symbol of Gargano on there, which you won't expect now because Gargano has twisted and turned to the dark side. But yeah, it's going to be very fun to see where they go with this and where Asuka's going to go. I honestly hope Asuka goes and fights Charlotte at WrestleMania in a redemption match where Asuka finally gets her revenge victory over Charlotte after basically losing at WrestleMania and having this downward spiral she had. If they tell that story, that would make sense. But also, some people have said they want to see Nikki Cross versus Asuka. I'll be all for that, honestly. I would be all for that. And then I would love to see Shayna Baszler, if she drops the title, to make a surprise appearance to challenge Asuka. That would be kind of awesome if they did a Asuka Open Challenge at WrestleMania. That would be pretty awesome if they did that. But Yeah, there's a lot of directions they could go with Asuka as the SmackDown Women's Champion, but I am kind of hoping they either do Charlotte or Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross because it's Nikki Cross, she's awesome. Charlotte because it would make sense to tell a redemption storyline to complete the full circle and give Asuka that victory over Charlotte. And yeah, Becky Lynch was phenomenal as always. I really am loving this whole the man gimmick she does, that she's playing in the role right now. And I am still profoundly confused that people are seriously saying this. Becky Lynch can't call herself the man. She's not a man. And I'm thinking, you do realize she's not calling herself the man because she thinks she's a dude, right? She just says she calls herself the man because her title, because she wants to be the top dog and be the face of the company. Like, what's there to understand on that? If she says Becky, I actually tweeted to Becky saying, do you intend the next time you encounter Ronda to tear her arm off? And also, can I get a follow? Because because to get the man to follow me would be pretty awesome. And then someone had asked Becky, how do I become the man? And I actually wanted to joke Lin Cara's thing of the I am a man, where he says this line in his Teen Titans anti-drug giveaway review, where he says, they had to punch you in the stomach and declare yourself the man. Because that would be freaking hilarious. But no, instead Becky Lynch beat me to it and basically said how it comes from within or something like that. But like, I was so tempted to just make a joke regarding Lin Cara's I am a man joke. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what's going to happen with Asuka's SmackDown Women's title run. I am really looking forward to what they have planned for WrestleMania. They better give her something good to work with, because I need to see Asuka get her redemption or fight Nikki Cross. Because really, there are not really that many credible challengers they have. I really don't think they have that many credible challenges for Asuka right now. So we'll have to see where this goes. So those were our thoughts on Asuka versus Becky Lynch, the Empress of Tomorrow versus the Man. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. Stay tuned for more.